Alright, now that we're done with the Dark Elves, the next up are the Wood Elves. I'm not a big fan of elves in general, and the Wood Elves are no exception. One of the main problems with that team is their insanely high prices. So anyway, let's start right away with an apothecary, and they'll need it, believe me. Then we'll go with 2 rerolls. This time I'll try to be a bit more conservative to show you just how much you can get for your money. So, if we look at their available players, they do have access to 1 Treeman. Treemen are very, very strong defensive players. However, well, just look at their movement. 2 movement, you don't get anywhere fast. And the problem, well, you get nowhere fast, I should have said. The big problem with this is that when a player is prone, it costs them 3 movement to get up. So, I'm sure you can see a problem here, since they have less than 3 movement. So, when they want to get up, they have to roll a die to see if they're able to. So this is really problematic. They do have strong strength statistic, and that makes them really reliable on the front line. Bad agility, so of course, you won't use them to start dodging around people. However, they do have 10 armor, and this is the highest armor value in the game, unless of course you get bonuses to that stat. Anyway, they do come with the loner skill, like every type of big guy, which means that even if you want to use a reroll on them, you'd only have 1 out of 2 chances to succeed. They have Mighty Blow, which is always good, Stand Firm, which fits them actually, and which also raises their value as a defense player. Strong Arm, well, personally I don't know why they gave them this. Probably because they're also used in halfling teams. Anyway, they get a bonus to passes, but their agility is so low that it doesn't really make a difference. Unless, of course, you do get agility bonuses. But that will not help them in any way in a Wood Elven team, because there's no one that they can throw. Unless they throw the ball, but hey, the rest of the team is much better at throwing than they are. They do have thick skulls, and along with their armor value and stand firm, they're difficult to injure actually. And they do have the skill Take Root. Unlike other big guys, they can't go stupid on you. However, they can take root. So basically, when you want to do an action, you throw 1 die. And if you get a 1, your player gets stuck into place until either the end of the drive, end of the half, or the opponent sends them crashing to the ground. So this is really problematic. Sure, it's not that bad when you're defending, but if you want to move them around to help the rest of your team, it's very difficult. Since they also only have access to the strength table, the guard is a given for them, but block, tackle, those are really difficult. Or jump up also could really help them. However, it's on the agility table and you need doubles for that as well. Anyway, they do cost 120,000, so usually it's the kind of player that you'll add later on to your team. Now, War Dancers, really nice players. In a way, they're pretty much I compare them to the Witch Elves. Of course, Witch Elves have the frenzy skills, and War Dancers do not. However, stat-wise, they're the same as the Witch Elves, except that they have better move. And they do start with block, and dodge, and leap. So very, very strong when you buy them. Except that, well, they're not incredibly durable with 7 armor. They do have access to the general table, so you'll probably give them tackle as well. And with agility, they can get jump up, or you could always get fanned because they do make these very decent catchers, or ball carriers as well. After that, well, sometimes you'll want to skip them when you start out a team because they do cost a lot of money. So for the moment, I won't touch them. Throwers, very important to get at least one. Well, one is more than enough when you start out. Same stats as most Elven players. 7 move, very good. 3 strength, decent. 4 agility, very good. And 7 armor, well, pretty low. They do come with pass, which allows them to re-roll in case they miss their pass or they fumble. And they do have access to all the tables. Well, I'm not talking about mutations. This is for very specific teams. And they don't have access to strength right away. However, this does make them rather versatile players. And you'll probably end up giving them things like safe throw or nerves of steel. Fend is also good. Usually, if you get nerves of steel, you won't get fend anyway. And finally, there's also the leader skill, which is on the passing table, which gives your team one more team reroll. You can only use one player's leader skill. So if you have 3 players with leader, only one will count. So usually you get it once for your team and that's it. And you give it to a player who's on the pitch most of the time. Now, so I'll want to buy one of them since passing game is very important to Wood Elven teams. Catchers, also very important. And catchers have 8 movement. So the only players who have more movement than catchers, Wood Elven catchers, would be the Skaven Gun Runners. Still, very fast, especially if you do get movement bonuses. 2 strength, well, wusses.